Hello, hello, hello. Give me a minute and just let me check if it's working fine on LinkedIn. So if you are here, please say hello in the chat box. Otherwise, there's no other way for me to know that you are here. So type in hello and let's spend the next 10, 15, 20 minutes together. Let me just see. Okay, I think it is working. Okay, it's working. I can see that. So thanks so much for showing up. And this video is going to be about what is life coaching, how do I find a coach, how is life coaching different than therapy, how can I become a coach. So all these frequently asked questions about life coaching and coaching business. Okay, so if you're watching this as a live session or a training, just make sure that you comment hello so I know you were here. Thank you so much for being here. So let's start with what is life coaching. That's probably one of the most asked questions. As a life coach, what do you do? Now I have two options. Either I could offer you a textbook technical kind of answer, or I can give you my own experience where I have hired a dozen coaches or how I have worked as a coach. I'm going to go with the experience based answer. So, life coaching is about helping your clients go from point A to point B. Okay, so they have certain goals, and you as a coach are going to be the vehicle that they're gonna ride. Okay, you're gonna help your clients. Another definition that I usually tell is life coaching is about helping your clients find themselves, helping your client find their own answers. So one major aspect of life coach is asking powerful questions. So your clients would be able to figure out their own answers. Does it make sense? So now, very specifically and personally, how I work with my clients. Whenever I work with my clients, there are usually five aspects of how I work with them. So one is assessment. We start by assessing where they are in their life. How is their physical health? How is their mental health? How is their financial health? How is their career? How is their relationship? How is their relationship with their family? How is their friend circle? How much do they feel like they are living their life purpose? Okay, so we start there. And so the first step that I do is assessment. The second step I do is vision, and the third is values. So vision about where do they want to go 15 years down the line. I'm less interested in their 12-month goals or 18 months goals, but I'm very much interested in their 15-year vision. Where do they want to head? Okay, so we start with a very big vision, because when you have such a big vision, such a big mission, nothing else matters to you. And then you ground yourself and you build strong foundations by working on your core values. Okay, so we work on vision, we work on values, and fourth, we work on the goals. We need to start setting small, some mid-term, and then some long-term goals. Okay, and then last is accountability, on how can you stay accountable to your goals. So I work on these five aspects: assessment, vision, values, goal setting, and then accountability. And different coaches would have different elements of how do they usually do coaching. All right. Another very frequently asked question is, what is difference between coaching and therapy, or coaching and consulting? So coaching is a lot future focused approach. Therapy is a lot past focused approach. Therapy is a necessity. You will literally die. Depression of sorry of depression, of suicide, of anxiety, whatever it is, you could literally die if you don't take therapy. Coaching is a luxury. Your dreams will die, but you will survive without coaching. Coaching is not a need. But if your vision is so big, you would want it. You may not need coaching, but you would want coaching. Okay. Another aspect is therapy is a medical profession. Therapy, psychotherapy, or psychiatry comes under medical profession, and coaching does not. Coaching is more of a self-development approach. Now, coaching versus consulting. So, a coach doesn't have to be an expert at what you do. A consult has to be expert at what they do. Okay, a consult need to know all the answers. A coach need to know the right questions. Now, what I'm talking about is the absolute terms of therapy versus coaching versus consulting. All of these overlap with each other a lot. So you will see a lot of therapists, all the therapists at certain points becoming a coach for their clients. Okay, so it overlaps to certain extent, but for the sake of clear understanding, I'm talking in absolute terms. Okay, one more question: how do I find a great coach to help me with my goals, my vision, or my career, or whatever? So how do I find a coach? How do I find a great coach? So most of the coaches offer some sort of free consultation or free breakthrough session, clarity call, discovery call. Most of the coaches do. Okay, so you can either start by that. Number two, what you could do is, you could first go to Google and search career coaches in India, career coaches in Mumbai, career coaches in US, California. Or you could do go to LinkedIn and again search career coaches and start reading their content. Go to their website, go to their if they have read some book, some ebook, if they have some course, start there. Start getting into their world. What story do they have? Do you relate to that story? Do they make you feel connection through their content, through their videos, through their posts? So connect with them. Simply send them a message, send them an email, or whatever you could, uh, and ask for a consultation call or a coaching call or whatever. And that is the only way to find a great coach for yourself. Who's with me so far? Say yes in the comment box so I know you are here. Welcome, Pradipta. Hello, Sweda. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, so another question, the next question. We have talked about, how can I hire a coach or how can I work with a coach? How can I become a coach? So I've written a lot about it in the past, and I'm going to share briefly around this. There are two ways you can become a coach. One is go through rigorous training and learning and um, get a certification. Okay. The other way is you can just simply change your title on LinkedIn or online, create a new profile, and call yourself a life coach, because nobody is going to question you. Nobody is going to question you. It's not a regulated field. There are pros and cons to this. So the pros is the entry level is very low. You don't need a 5-year degree to enter to become a life coach. You can it will take you less than 5 seconds to become a life coach. But the success bar is high. Okay, what do I mean by that is there are so many coaches in the industry right now who haven't gone through any kind of training, so they don't know what coaching is. They don't listen deeply to their clients. They're doing so many things that come in between their clients' great results. Okay, so they could be offering so many great results to their clients, but they can't because they don't know what coaching is. So do not be that coach. Go through some training. Getting a certification, do I need certification? Yes and no. If your focus is towards corporate, where a certification can help you get your foot in the door, it can help. It's not a necessity. but you don't need a certification. What you need is definitely some work on yourself, some training, some experience on why you're doing this, what exactly are you doing. Okay, next question. What is the scope of coaching as a career? Globally, it's still a new field. Okay, there are lots of coaches in Australia, UK, US, but there is still a lot of space for a new coach to come up. In India specifically, there is huge potential in the market yet. So if you are flirting with the idea, can I become a life coach? Yes, this is the time. This is the uh, early mover advantage, if I'm coining the term right. This is the early mover advantage. So this is the time you start exploring what would becoming a life coach feel like. Okay. So all right, one last question that I created in the list of FAQs. A lot of people come and ask my story about how did you become a life coach? What were your struggles? What were your journey like? So I went through my first anxiety attack in 2016, and I took psychotherapy, and that was the time I entered this domain of self-help or self-improvement, personal development, and I started reading a lot of books. So I have been a coach throughout my life. I'd say I was always in leadership roles through my school time, through my college time as well, in one capacity or the other. Uh, Coaching is also very similar to leadership. And I started writing about in 2016 when I was going through a tough time and I was recovering from that. I started writing about that in my, online social media profiles. So that was kind of my first step in this direction. And in 2020, before all of this pandemic started, around in January, I became more serious and started exploring more about this. And then I worked with a lot of coaches. I got under a lot of trainings. I even got a certification. And that's where all of my journey began. It's been more than 2 years now, about I think 27, 28 months. And so far I have had conversations with I think 2,500 plus people. Most of them did not become my clients, but a few hundreds of them became a client, and that's where I am. Uh, Wait a second, let me see what else I could cover in that question. Yes. So the kind of struggles that I faced becoming a coach. Number one, there were not a lot of coaches when I started, especially in India. So it was relatively new in India, and it became kind of an opportunity for me because I stepped up and I am helping people become coaches now. One other struggle that I had when I started was, or a mistake rather, I did not hire a coach. I thought I could do everything on my own. And that mistake costed me at least like 6 to 12 months of my time. Where I am today, right now, I could have been here 6 to 12 months earlier only if I started working with a coach when I started. I didn't do that. That was one very big mistake. So, this is usually one mistake that I ask anyone who any aspiring coach to avoid that. Please work with a coach. You'll know the importance of it when you do. And I've been doing this full time for the last 1.5 years or so. So grateful for this profession. It has given me lots of opportunities, lots of freedom, lots of uh, money, lots of other things that cannot be measured and can be measured. So, one major aspect of why I became a life coach was I had learned a lot of things on my journey of growth, and I did want to share that with everyone else. And that's one of the major reason why anyone becomes a coach. So, if you want to help others in their growth, this is your time. This is your invitation. This is your sign. Explore. life coaching as a career option. And you don't have to do it right, like I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to start it today. You don't have to do that. You can start it on side on weekends, 4, 5, 6 hours a week. That's a very good start, 5 hours a week. And if you need any help in starting and growing your coaching business, I'm here for you. I'm going to mention a link in the description for a free breakthrough session. Most people tell me that they experience transformation after spending that 1 hour with me. So fill that form and let's explore the opportunity of working together. All right. If you have any questions, do make sure that you leave it in the comment. My DMs, my inbox is open for you. And thank you so much for being here. I'm going to see you again really soon. Bye-bye.